right. Welcome everyone to another episode of Life According to Brian.
And Jason.
Hey Jason. Let's have a little different conversation. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good today, man. What's up?
Well, I've been thinking, Tana said today she's gonna go volunteer on Friday down at the local pet shelter. We have a pretty nice one here called Best Friends. It's kind of a national animal shelter, and that's partly because we are cat and dogless, and we have been for quite a while. And we do that on purpose so that we can travel and not leave the dog home or cat home as much. And but I tell you, it's getting harder and harder to live life without pets. So I wanted to ask you, what's your thought on pets?
Well, my first pet was a Pomeranian and Pekingese dog named Jeremy. I'm an Air Force brat, and I've lived many places. We were in Maine, Charleston, Maine at the time, 77. And my mom went and got this puppy, Pomeranian Pekingese puppy, brought it to my dad with us in tow at his softball game and said, "Hey, honey, here's your dog." He was like, "What?" And it was funny at the time. As a kid, I'm like, do.
Right.
But I think mom was like, "We're getting a dog." So we had this dog, and of course, my dad loved Jeremy, and it was all good. But that was so it was a real little dog.
Right.
And we had
Yeah.
Jeremy for no kidding, 16 years. So I had him all through.
Wow.
Yes, those little dogs live, man. Had him into my first year of college. So
Wow.
Jeremy was a good little dog.
Wow. I now that you said first, thinking back, I think we had cats. So I remember probably somewhere around 5 or 6 years old having these cats, and cats kind of at this point would come in and go out, and for some reason they did not like my dad, and they would come into the house and they would literally take a crap in his shoes.
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of a cat saying, hey, I don't like you. Now, I don't, for some reason, that's the story I know as a 5 or 6 year old.
Sure.
Now, I'm sure mom might have a different version, but the point is the cats had to go out to the farm. And so we throw these cats in the car and we drive like 5 hours out to the farm. And this is, my grandparents' farm on my mom's side. And so they had a bunch of acreage. And so they put these cats out. And I was sad, I'm like, and you see them out, hanging around the farm. We're staying there a few days. The next time I come back to the farm is probably, who knows, months later. No cats.
No.
Where'd the cats go? Well,
yeah.
Cats just wander off, I was told, but, yeah.
Who knows what else?
I think they were a little too domesticated to then be thrown out on a farm. Who knows?
Yes.
But,
yes.
Never. Anyway, that was my introduction to owning pets.
I also, with Jeremy, I have another big memory of my whole childhood. My mom collected antiques, and she got an antique bird cage, and we had parakeets forever. Forever.
Right.
I mean, I think
right.
Elementary, middle, high school, and of course, we get some different ones, but we had some for a while, and I'd clean out that cage, man. I'd be cleaning that cage. And all the birds to me and my brother Brent were Fang. We called it Fang. My mom called it whatever, but we thought it was funny to call the bird Fang.
Right.
Usually they were green and yellow parakeets.
Yep. I know. I bugged my mom pretty hard. I think I was about third grade. I want a parakeet, or some kind of bird. And so had the money. We went down to the pet shop. I got a parakeet too. Had it in the bedroom. It's back in South Dakota. And, mom's like, well, you got to clean it. So I did, and I kind of took care of it. Of course, I was original in its name, Tweety. Anyway,
Tweety, nice.
Tweety. And so one time mom's like, you need to go clean that cage. So I took it outside and somehow I let that bird out, flew away, you know. And it's like, okay, it's South Dakota and parakeets. This is not their natural habitat. So I remember crying, going,
Oh
hey,
no.
was my bird going to come back? No, your bird will, find other birds. I'm like, anyway, yeah. So I was over the birds for a while. They do circle back later, but yeah, I'm like, dang it. So I don't know how we got our first dog. I'm going to have to ask Mom about that. All I know is we had Sparky for like 15 years.
What kind of dog was Sparky? Little, big?
Part terrier, part dachshund. And kind of a long hair. So if you kind of picture a terrier with shorter legs. And, yeah, this is, my parents grew up around farms, so pets didn't really come into the house. They allowed us to have the goldfish and the parakeet. But cats, dogs, those are outdoor animals. And so Sparky, she survived like brutal winters, in Rapid City in the late 70s. I just remember snow days being like 8 feet of snow, like you could literally climb on your house. There was so much snow drift. And, so yeah, that dog, I don't know. Dogs outside. She had a little barrel for a dog house, not even like a real dog house, like a 55-gallon drum barrel with a hole cut out, and you threw rugs and, towels or blankets in there for her. But she just grow this big, thick coat and man, we moved to Arizona with that same dog and then now it's 115.
Oh.
That poor dog.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's tough. So,
right.
So what was did you have a dog growing up?
It was Jeremy.
Just Jeremy.
Just
okay.
Jeremy. Just had that one little dog.
Not a second dog. Right.
Nope, not a second dog. And then Andy and I didn't get a dog until we were back in we got married and went to Junction, saw you guys, and then came back to Littleton metro area of Denver, and we got a Black Lab mix for Katie, and Obi was a great dog. Had Obi for like 13 years.
Wow.
And just a great dog. Just awesome. I wanted his roommate. It was a great Pyrenees. Dog was his roommate at the kennel. And the guy goes, the Black Lab's really good dog. So, with kids and stuff. So we just got one and had Obi. And Obi was a great dog. In, out. Obi was out a lot too. But he was in at night, but he would be out all day.
Did you own any other like different pets, like lizards or?
Nope. I am not a lizard guy, man. No, it was those birds, dude, and that was my mom's bird. Right. Me and Brent cleaned mom's bird. Yeah, we were like, it wasn't our bird, it was her bird, and yeah.
Well, I wound up getting back into birds for a short time by accident. When I mean by accident, I'm living in my parents' house during college, the first year or so of college. And all of a sudden like you could hear something hit the window in the house. And so I go outside and there's this like bright colored bird in the flower bed and just kind of laying there. And so it had a pretty good sized beak on it. I'm like, is that a parrot? What is that? So I run into the garage and I literally get a pair of welding gloves from, the garage. My dad was a welder, so his big, thick leather gloves, and I picked this bird up. And that's the funny part is here's this cockatiel, not a cockatoo, but a cockatiel flew into the house. And it's like, okay, where's, it's not like birds carry little, identification,
No.
There's no collar on a bird. And so, wound up kind of like, okay, Mom, Dad, what do we do with this thing? So we got a little cage and friends across the street had cockatiels. So they kind of taught us how to deal with the cockatiels. And so I thought it was lonely, so went down to the pet store, got a second one. And of course, when I moved away after getting married, mom and dad are like, "Hey, take the birds with you."
So did
Well,
you?
yeah. So actually, it didn't live too long with us. We took them over to the neighbors at some point and said, we're gone a lot with school and multiple jobs, so yeah. And those birds live forever with those
Oh
neighbors.
yeah.
I heard like maybe another 15, 20 years those
Wow.
two birds lived with the
Wow.
neighbors across the street. Yeah, a long time. so so that's maybe one other reason I probably researched and went, holy crap, these are like 30-year birds here, so maybe you need to offload these. And
Yeah.
then another strange thing, somehow, when we lived in Grand Junction there in Colorado, we got a pair of lovebirds. Somebody gave us a pair of lovebirds. Oh, we'll take them.
Hmm.
The kids are little. We got these lovebirds. They're cute. They're noisy. They're colorful, but they're always a mated pair, right? And
Okay.
so we had a cage, and then one day they got out of the cage, but we had that. I don't know if you saw this house. This might have been pre knowing you. We had this huge glass solarium on the back side of the house. It was like 2 stories tall, and
No,
it,
I didn't
and it
see that.
heated this condo that we had. It was a multiple story condo, and so this solarium would be kind of a way to. It was kind of like early solar and kind of energy efficient homes that we had. And it had this big tube that would suck hot air from this glass
Oh.
solarium and suck hot air into the crawl space of the house and then pump it back into the house. And you kind of have this southern south facing house that would just self heat itself in the winter. It's very cool technology for the day. And,
Yeah.
these two birds escaped and went down that pipe.
Oh.
And I thought, oh man, I'm going to have a mess because there's a big motor down there. So turn the system off and I hop into the crawl space to find my ankles are 6 inches in water in the
Oh.
crawl space of the house. Whoa, what is this? So first of all, now I'm like wet. I got to go find these birds that are stuck in this like system of this house.
Right. Right.
And so I crawl through all this water and I get in there and I find both of them just fine. So I had to take this little cover off, grab them, hand them to the kids upstairs. And now I'm like, I got all this water to deal with in the bottom of my house. Come to find out we had a pipe break,
Oh.
a small leak, and lost 25,000 gallons of water in the in the in the crawl space of my house. So
The birds
so
helped you. The birds
so
helped you.
that's the point of the story. The birds somehow saved my house from sliding off the hillside because we caught the water leak in enough time that it didn't ruin the foundation of the house. So anyway,
Disaster averted.
that's
Yeah.
right. Thanks, lovebirds. And so, yeah, those birds wound up again, found out, did the math. These things live a long time too. And found another home for them later on. But I have to
Sure.
say, the those kinds of smart birds are pretty good compared to a parakeet.
Right.
Not
But
that I'd
now,
own them again.
of course, well, who knows, man? You might.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we had Obi as our main principal animal for our kids. Loved Obi. Obi's the classic black lab. Went camping with us. Took out, great dog. Good with others. Good with people. Plays. He's just a really good dog, and loved him. Why don't you tell listeners what you had? You had two little fun. Well, I'll let you say it.
Wiener dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in college, Debbie and we had, I don't know, for whatever reason, we decided while in college we needed to raise a puppy. I don't know why. I mean, we drove, found a breeder. It was full AKC, little dachshund. And, Oh, I know what it was. We had friends. We had friends in college who had
Yep.
a wiener dog. Oh, aren't those cute? They're fun. They're pocket size. They can travel with us. And yeah, man. When you leave a wiener dog by itself all day, they tend to destroy a lot of stuff. So
Mm,
anyway, so what does that mean? Later down the road, you get a second one. Why not?
yes.
Because two wiener dogs are better than one. And that has replicated itself. What does my son have? He's in his
Right.
early 30s. He's a dad. They have two wiener dogs. So yeah, the kids were raised with wiener dogs, and then we had a black lab. So we had this odd mix of two wieners and a black lab.
Right.
And the wieners are in charge by far. And those dogs just rule the roost,
Did
And
he mention? Did he mention that he got the wieners because he had the wiener dogs as a kid?
I think yeah, he's like, we kind of like them. They're lap dogs. Like when you sit down,
Yeah.
they hop on you. They're very independent in some ways, but yet they're also very loyal and affectionate and
Yeah.
hard to train. They're just stubborn as can be, and but they're cute in a weird way. They have kind of these personalities to them. I prefer bigger dogs, really. I mean, I love my lab, my big black lab, Daisy. She's
Yep.
just smart, sweet,
I
fetch
remember
a
Daisy.
ball. We could just play all day.
Yep.
We had other dogs in between though. Those are my highlights. The other dogs didn't quite work out because we kind of took on other dogs that might have been, like here's a dog, uh,
Here's a dog.
didn't really work out, so that dog has to find another owner. So we went through a series of those, but yeah, that second wiener dog we had was same situation. Person couldn't keep it. Didn't know how to, found out wiener dogs are a little hard to train. Great. We need a second wiener dog. And so, yeah, we kind of a magnet there for a while of collecting dogs and then trying, which ones are we going to keep? Which ones, move on to something else. And then we
Right.
had that one dog that bit you. Do you remember that?
No, I have forgotten
What?
it out of
Wow.
trauma.
That lawsuit is
Yes,
still pending.
that's right. What?
Yeah, no, we had that one Chow and Australian
Yes,
Shepherd.
yes, yes.
And you came over. This dog was cool for a while, and then we moved. And when we moved to a new house, this dog, he became kind of paranoid. It was a bigger
Yeah,
place,
territorial.
became territorial, bit everybody, bit the Home Depot guy, bit my son's friends, bit you, ripped your
Yeah,
pant leg.
I know.
I was training him with the vet. Our vet was really good. He was teaching me, here's how you train a real aggressive dog. Yeah. Let's just say that dog had to move on to other
Yep,
places.
yep.
So yeah,
Had to
it's just
go.
had to go because it was just taking chunks. I kind of did the 3 strikes rule. It's like, okay, we're up to 3 bites. Nope, it's not safe anymore. You know, and yeah, so sometimes pets don't work out.
No. But some do.
Some do.
We had a greyhound for a number of years. We got a retired racer from Kansas City, Missouri, Noodles. She raced for 3 and then bred for 3, and
Wow,
she was the sweetest baby.
she was.
Um,
She was a good pup.
she's a big girl for a greyhound, 75 pounds.
Mm,
Andy and I went to CSU, and near CSU, there's a Colorado State University. There's a dog track, and she always wanted to adopt one of them. So we finally said, you know what, let's do this.
right,
And Colorado Greyhound adoption program's great. And yeah, I had Noodles, and she was great for us. And she just passed away from old age. We just kind
right,
of loved
right.
her up, but she was
Yeah,
like a little cat. She
yeah.
didn't bark.
She was more
She was
cat-like.
quiet.
She really
Totally.
was.
Oh yeah, they're
Mhm.
but
75-pound cat.
yes. But when we first got her, she was a joy to watch run. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
all kinds of
yeah.
stuff. Couldn't have a doggy door; their skin's too thin. Couldn't take her
Right,
to the dog park because other dogs would chase her and
right.
wear
It's
everyone
not
out and wear her out and stuff. but
Sure.
no,
She was
Doodle's a great
delicate.
dog.
You really kind of had to handle her, not like a
Hmm.
regular dog by any
No,
means. Yeah.
no.
Yeah. And I remember I'd come over and see you guys and she'd almost kind of purr like a cat. She'd make that weird
Yep.
noise in her like throat. And, at first she was always a little standoffish. And then all of a sudden, if
Yep.
she liked you, she'd be near you. I'm just going to
Yep.
be near you, not touching you,
Yes.
but near
Not
you.
not as affectionate as that was one thing to get used to. She was
Right.
affectionate in her own way, but not like a
Right.
lab or other
Right.
dogs,
Yeah, ones that are just drooling on you and in your face. No,
Sure.
that was not
Sure.
her. That was not her. But
So obviously I'm kind of like a dog person with a
yeah,
little
yeah.
bird through in there. So what would you say you are? Are you
Oh, I'm definitely a dog person. Tanis is a cat person, so
oh, interesting.
that's the divide in the house here. So we have a compromise if ever we decide to get pets.
Okay.
I think we would get a puppy and a kitten together.
Mm.
Try to raise them together that way. And but who knows? I'm just waiting for some day she comes home with something cute from the shelter. So who knows?
Right, dude, I don't know how. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I can't do it. I tried doing
oh
that.
no. So did
I
I.
tried being a dog walker at a
Yep.
shelter. I'm just
Yep.
like, this is too
Mm.
hard, man. I just
Yeah,
want to bring them all home. And,
totally.
but she goes down, she does it. She's part of the surgical team at times. And, yeah, as a volunteer, she loves it. And yeah, she compartmentalizes it a little bit better than I do. And, so yeah, I volunteer at a bike shop, at a bike program.
There you go.
So, but no, I think it'll happen.
Yep.
Dogs are, especially for me, dogs are good for the soul. There's just something about getting up early in the morning, the house is quiet, and you take that dog outside. And like when you have a lab, you're out there to play a little bit or just sit. And, it's just nice. That's the nice
Yes.
part about dogs.
Right. We'll be ready when we're ready. We know.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
taking a
Yeah.
little break so we can go do stuff.
Right.
But
Yep.
I think we're still morning noodles. Everyone's different on that. They get a dog right away. Some people wait.
Right.
Some get the
Yep.
same dog. Some get different dogs.
Yeah.
So,
Well, for me, all three of those dogs had those two wiener dogs and the lab. They all passed away within 18 months of each other, all
mm,
three. And that was a little hard. It's like
yep.
one dog lived a longer time. The first wiener was the oldest. The second wiener, she wound up having a spine. You see, wiener dogs, you don't want them jumping off things. And I don't know what she did. She jumped off of something and they wind up getting a kind of a fractured spine where their back legs don't work anymore. So she lived for a little while, but it wasn't going to work long term. And then, yeah, the lab just, kind of wound up. Labs have kind of those inborn, kind of inbred kind of diseases. And,
Yep.
she always struggled with, kind of a autoimmune kind of version in a dog. And, so yeah, it's funny. It was like, went from 3 dogs to a year and a half, no dogs. It's like, wow.
That's wild.
And I just haven't gone back. When I met Tanis and we got together, she was foster care for cats from the local shelter there when we lived up in Glenwood Springs. And so she would bring cats home every now and then. That was kind of my pet fix for a while. And then I actually worked out of the house before COVID when I did that one program for that school district. And I'd office a little bit at home, maybe 3 days a week. And so it was a good way to foster cats because I was
Yeah.
around the house
Yeah.
and I had a little cat. I'm not a cat guy, but the cat's sitting there in a
Yeah.
little box next to
Yeah.
you. You're working on the computer, and it was nice. It was nice to have that around the house because it was just me all day. So yeah, I miss that. I do miss that. And both my kids are total dog and, both of them have dogs and, my daughter has a dog and a cat. So it's funny. I'm the parent who's petless, but all my kids have pets.
Yeah, I think when Ryan and Katie are able, they will both have dogs for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And with me, it was just my brother we didn't have any dog after Obi, and then my brother was gonna talk about adopting a dog, Olaf, that they have, a shepherd, and I was like, whoa. He goes, I'm not sure we will. And I was like, wow, if he doesn't adopt Olaf, I think I want to. I guess I want
Right.
another dog. That's how I knew.
Right. I love
So,
that name, Olaf. That's
yep,
great.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
So they still have Olaf. Great dog.
Nice. All right. As we wrap this episode up, what possible future pet might it be? What type of dog do you think?
I know, like you, who knows, I might get a dog that, hey, you want this dog? That could be that way too. But I love labs. I would love to have a chocolate lab.
Right.
That would be my pick. What about you?
I could go the lab route easy, or I'd like to do just like a straight up Australian Shepherd, no mix in it,
Mm,
just a straight up a
okay.
version of that, and something kind of in that medium size dog that could travel with us, and
Right.
not internationally, but maybe around the United States. We might do a second lap around the United States. It might be nice to have a dog along if we do that. So you bet.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
man. Well, hey, guess what, man?
What?
Oh, the time goes so fast. I
It
know.
does.
It does. Hey, these have been fun. It's a great episode. Thanks, dude. And hey, everyone, thanks for joining us on this episode of Life According to Brian.
And Jason.
And as always, you can find us in all your streaming places. And if you get a chance, check out Podbean and start your own podcast. Until next time, bye.